Well, hello, everybody. I'm Nicole.
I'm Marisa.
And we're the Lid Sisters.
Woo-hoo!
No, welcome to High Tales with the Lid Sisters. If this is your first time joining us, because we're starting.
I wanted to be overly friendly so that they kept listening. Did it
We're
work?
so glad to have you. Thank you so much for being here.
Okay, now I feel like we're being eager. Okay.
I was going to yell at them. I was going to say, you're late. We've already read. This is our fourth series. Yeah. So if this is your first one, where have you been, actually? You have homework.
Embarrassing.
You're about a semester behind, okay? No, I'm just kidding. We are starting our fourth series. I think that actually deserves a little bit of a round of applause. Good job, Marisa.
This is our version of a round of applause.
We are moving on to the Crescent City series. Mm-hmm. 3 books right now, at least a 4th.
So this is going to keep going.
It's a 4-book deal.
Okay.
No, I think she said actually it was a 3-book deal, but there's 4 houses.
So,
and then it was confirmed later there will definitely be a 4th book.
Okay.
It might go on after that, though. I think Throne of Glass was only supposed to be 3 books initially.
This is part of a multiverse.
Yes, the 3rd book in this series, from what I've been told, The Flame and Shadow, there's a crossover with ACOTAR.
Okay. So now we just got to go all in. This was so smart of her because now everybody is doing what we did. We read ACOTAR, and now a new ACOTAR book is coming out.
Well, and apparently Throne of Glass, there's a crossover as well, which is like a 9-book
so now
series.
we've got to read another 9 books. Good job, Sarah. You are a marketing genius.
So apparently we're behind, actually.
Yeah. So sorry for the judgment earlier. It feels really bad coming right back at us.
Well, I was going to lead into, don't worry, you can just listen to our episodes to catch up.
Oh, yeah. You don't have to read the book.
Cheating.
Just kidding, Sarah.
Cheating.
Buy the book at least. But if you don't read it, just listen to us. And Sarah still gets her royalties.
She does. So just a real quick reminder of what you signed up for, because you've already been listening for about 3 minutes. Mm-hmm. We are sisters. Mm-hmm. Hi, I'm Nicole, like I said before.
Hi, sisters.
Hi, sister. Oh! And we enjoy reading, primarily fantasy, romantasy, things like that. We ventured into other books as well, but we enjoy reading and we enjoy enlightening our minds whilst we read and whilst we talk about the books that we read. We tend to be a little funny. Maybe
we
that's
think
just
so.
Us.
I don't know.
You may or may not agree after this episode, but please stay. Okay, so we will be reading all 3 of these books. We have a little bit new timeline where we are skipping a week in between each book.
Which, if they're new, they don't know that we didn't do that, so.
It's true, but I'm talking to all my people here, right? Not just the new customers.
Okay.
New customer deal is...
Everybody gets the same deal here at the Lit Sisters.
Equal opportunity. Mostly because we are moms and we have these annoying things called careers and
responsibilities.
Responsibilities.
Lawn work.
Blah. So we need a little extra time to read, edit. I mean, Marissa needs time to edit. She doesn't let me do any of that. No, I'm just kidding. Future Marissa, cut that out. I appreciate everything that you do. Okay. All right. So we're going to dive into Crescent City. I'm pretty sure each one of these books is 800 pages.
Yes.
It did not feel like I was reading 800 pages. I will say that. And the first book is always the most boring because you have to set up the whole entire damn world. So I'm very excited for the next 2 that are also 800 pages. But I figured this will probably take us about 5 episodes a book.
Yeah, I would see.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Some of the other ones we were like, this will be 3. And then it was 5 episodes later.
I also think we started out really strong note-taking.
Yeah.
Which kind of took away some of the pleasure of reading. So we pulled that back, but then that meant we didn't... It's not like a blow by blow as it used to be.
So you're saying we just got better?
We just are more effective at what we do.
I agree. Efficiency. Boom.
Boom.
All right. So Crescent City, House of Earth and Blood.
House of Earth and Blood. Okay. But just to build this world, there are 4 houses in this world. There is Sky and Breath, which has humans. Hold on. Sky and Breath is angels, elementals, sprites, fays, and then those that are blessed by Solus. And some that are favored with Luna. This is like the verbiage that's on the front page, but really what we find out is Sky and Breath is like angels, the light fae, the elementals, but this is also the city we're in is kind of like the melting pot of this world. So you really see everything.
I very much got like the 4 boroughs, like type of
vibe.
Gangs of New York type of vibe.
So then Earth and Blood is really humans, shifters, witches. Flame and Shadow is reapers, vampires, demons, shadow beings.
Yeah.
And then
The
Many
dark
Waters.
Stuff. You forgot the necromancers, Marissa.
Oh, yeah. I ignore necromancers. No offense.
They're always creepy.
I don't
in
really
any movie, show, book they come up in. Why does Raising the Dead have to be so creepy?
The only time that Raising the Dead, I was like, that's badass.
When?
Nesta.
Don't leave the tea out. Nesta coming back from the dead.
When she put on the crown and like made them raise out of the swamp.
That was pretty badass.
Every other
I didn't even associate that with necromancy.
Well, that's bringing back people to life.
It is.
That's exactly what she did.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, I usually like to leave a dead dog lie. Is that how that saying goes?
Not really.
Okay.
Close enough.
But the 4th of the houses is the Many Waters. And I'll let you have a guess of what lives in this house.
Oh, it's always all the water stuff, right?
Yeah.
The kelpies,
mermaids,
the mermaids,
the sprites,
nymphs.
the water sprites.
Water sprites.
Yes.
Yep. But nobody knows a whole lot about this area because they never come to the surface.
No, why would you?
They're above everybody, but they're actually below everybody. Pun intended.
Okay. So within the House of Earth and Blood.
That's where we're at.
That's where we're at. So there is a city called Crescent City. It was originally Luthanion.
Yeah.
And basically there is a inherent hierarchy within the city, and so it goes Asteri. The Asteri are like above gods. They are the beings that pretty much came one day long, long ago and just basically took over.
Through the Northern Rift,
yes.
Right? And I'm only pointing these things out because I'm trying to put together where the connection is with Akatar. And I feel like this event with the Asteri coming and the Northern Rift, there's a lot of semblances to Amren's story, essentially. Yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah. So they come and they basically just take over the world and everybody becomes a slave. The bottom of that chain is, of course, humans, which we're used to generally in this type of...
all these houses came from this event through the Northern Rift, essentially. Yeah.
Yeah. So we have the Asteri, and they live in a different area. Pangea. Is it Pangina?
Something like that. Yeah.
Pangea. And they rule all of the land from there. Right below them are actually the archangels. And there is an archangel in each one of these areas, like these kingdoms that the Asteri overall rule, and they basically drive the will of the Asteri. So we're just assuming that the archangels or the angels in general are the closest to them in terms of power.
They're like the governors.
Yeah.
Right? We got but we're more parliamentary, right? The Asteri are like parliament, I guess, and these are the governors.
So after the archangels, then you have a bunch of other different beings. They call them Vanir. These are like the immortal beings. And then under the immortal beings are the mortal beings, which are basically the slaves and the humans and the animals and everything. So within this veneer to not veneer, there is a hierarchy. So you've got like nobility. So there's princes, there's kings and things like that within this. Then from there, you have citizens. So some people are considered citizens, or vitas is what they kept calling them, which actually threw me at first. I was like, what's the definition of that?
Yeah.
It's just a shorter version of civitas.
Oh, I didn't even put that together.
Because I was like, they keep calling them vitas.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what is a fucking vitas?
I just thought it was like some sort of like, you're in the cool club passport.
Yeah. But, well, so they're citizens.
Yeah.
And you get a certain amount of rights when you're a citizen. So if you are half human, half fae, or anything like that, you would probably not be a full citizen, which means you are
if you're mixed with
the morals.
human at all. It's like,
no, you're not a citizen.
Yeah.
And so under citizens are commoners and mortals. And then even below that are the enslaved. Mind you, most humans are enslaved.
Yeah.
Depending on where you live. Though they are getting more and more rights, it's still not great for
I feel like
to be a human.
Focusing a lot on the humans in this world.
Okay, I apologize.
There
I
might be
connect
a
with
little
humans
bit,
because
maybe.
I am one. But anyway. So we have this whole world in place, and you'll hear veneer a lot, and that means the immortals. There is a distinction, though, because these immortals don't live forever. We actually find out that werewolves live a little bit longer, and then it's fae, and then angels live maybe in between them somewhere. So I was actually surprised that
it's
fae,
the reverse. I think
fae live longer.
Fae live longer. Yeah.
Than what's it called?
Like they're like more multiple centuries, like thousands of years.
Yeah.
Versus like multiple centuries type of thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Still a really long time.
Yeah.
But they still can and do die.
Yeah. Yeah.
So zoom in on our first character. Her name's Bryce. She is half fae and half human, but she is a civitas. And we find out she is a civitas because her fae father, who she does not have a relationship with, actually let her
got her the status
somehow.
Yeah.
So she went to college, and there is a group of 4 friends in college, and it is half fae, half human, a woman named Bryce, and then a woman named Danica, who is the wolf heir. So she is a princess.
Yes. The reason I'm thinking is like technically her mom's a princess. So that's why I was like stumbling. I'm like, because Sabian's not princess material.
Yeah.
So it like messed up.
So there's the Wolf King, which is Danica, her roommate's grandpa.
Right.
And so Sabine is her mom.
Or Sabine, yeah.
Yes. And then the third of the friends, her name is Fury. And she is scary. We find out that when they all met in college, Fury actually was there undercover because she's an assassin.
Yeah, it was a cover. It wasn't, she wasn't even really enrolled.
So she was like faking it and then going and killing people and then coming back and faking it.
She honestly have no idea what the fuck she does.
Yeah. Or who she works for, which is really funny.
No idea.
But they're like, she tells us what we need to know, I guess.
Obviously, this is foreshadowing to her having some major play in some other, and we find out a bunch of stuff, but they have no idea. Everyone knows who she is, and everyone is terrified of her.
Terrified. And she's just a beautiful woman.
Yes.
And then the fourth of this crew is
Juniper.
And Juniper she's a waif, right?
No, she's a
nymph? Wrath.
She's a fawn.
A fawn.
Still earth and blood. She's just an ordinary animal.
And she is a ballerina.
She is.
And this is crazy because she's the first fawn ever.
In the ballet.
Yes.
Like professional dancer.
So kind of a big deal.
Yeah.
But even though all these people sound like they have a whole lot going on, they really just do a bunch of drugs together. So I just want to frame that because that threw me off. Listeners, as you're reading this, this takes place in modern society.
This was also, we haven't read a book like this. They all have these olden times.
I have a cell phone.
Yeah. Yep. I have a job.
I have a job.
I'm hopping in a cab.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Walking in 5-inch heels.
Going to clubs and doing drugs.
Yeah.
And they put makeup on. Like, I've never...
And wear... Well, we've seen slinky dresses.
We've seen slinky dresses, but the makeup, it's like, no, aren't fae just naturally so beautiful you wouldn't need makeup?
Oh, I didn't even think of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, so anyway, zoom in on Bryce. She's at her job. There is this little fire sprite that works with her.
Where does she work?
She works at an antiquities shop.
Yes.
Called Griffin.
Griffin Antiques.
Yes. And so she's there working, basically just researching stuff for her boss. There is a fire sprite, which is named
Lehaba.
Lehaba.
I wrote an A over the top.
Okay. Ooh. Okay. And she is just this like lippy, happy little sprite that runs around. And it's kind of funny that she's a fire sprite in a bookstore, basically.
Yeah. Guarding very, very old
books.
So there's the typical art store, the gallery up top. And then down below, there's very, very, very rare things. And that's what she's guarding, which is all like books for the most part.
Yeah.
Very interesting. I just pictured the girl from Elemental, the movie.
Yeah.
The Disney Pixar movie.
Yeah.
Have an attitude, jumping around.
I pictured that, but just more beautiful.
Just live action.
Yes.
Live action her.
Like put a model with that voice.
See,
and
I tend to picture a character, and some of them are live action characters, and some of them are cartoons.
So the story that you imagine in your head,
it's like Roger Rabbit up in this bitch.
See, that's too much for me. I need some consistency.
That's how my ADHD manifests. How does yours?
Not like that. Okay,
it's Roger Rabbit.
Just to be funny, for the next book art cover, I'm going to make you live action and me. Just to mess with you.
No, me like super animated, like cartoon.
And then me just normal, like what?
Like Kim Possible. And you're like...
Okay, done. Great idea, Nicole.
I'm very creative.
Yeah. And then, of course, we hear on the phone about Bryce's boss, who is at least 400 years old.
Jezebel.
She was a witch, but now we can't call her a witch. We don't know why.
Well, also, witches aren't in House of Earth and Blood, right?
Yeah.
So what is she? She makes everyone call her an enchantress.
Yeah, she's an enchantress.
Yeah.
We don't know why.
But also very known.
Yes.
Very powerful.
We don't know who she has, like, relationships with, but she's important in the city.
Very much so.
Yes.
Has a lot of pull.
Yep. And this is Jezebel Roca. The funny thing is, all these interactions with her boss is like through a speaker or a phone.
Okay, so and very like Austin Powers.
Yes. And like a TV screen. Like she'll like pop on a TV screen. She doesn't go there. And then all the time Bryce is like, oh, she might be looking at the cameras. So she's just like, sometimes she just looks at the feed and makes sure Bryce is doing her job. That would be the worst micromanagement ever.
Not only that, you're getting threatened to be turned into like a toad or a snake or a cricket or something.
Like, if you don't find that book, I'm going to turn you into a lizard the next time I see you.
Pan forward, pan down, whatever, to the basement that Lehaba is guarding, there are little animals in aquariums all over.
Yep.
That throughout the whole book, they're like, I wonder if that was her last assistant.
That could have been the last fire sprite who sat here.
They just choose to believe, no, that's not what it is, but I'm pretty sure that's what they are.
Yeah. So Bryce is working very hard because she's got a scary boss. And then on the door, there's a bang, 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 bang. And Lehaba, Lehaba. She
Future Marissa, keep that in.
Okay. She is like, don't let her in. Jezebel will not be happy about this. You might get turned into an animal or something.
Yeah.
And finally, Bryce lets her in. It's Danica. She just has like some sort of slime or something all over her.
Well,
and
it's
she
black.
smells.
We find out later that their blood is black.
Yeah.
And so she's covered in blood.
Yeah.
And other bodily fluids, it seems like. Yeah.
Yes. And she smells like garbage. And the great thing about this best friend relationship is Bryce tells her to her face, you smell like garbage.
You smell like shit.
Yeah. And all Danica says is, okay, I'll borrow some clothes. Yeah. And she just like throws her crap in the storage closet. And
well, she says, I got to leave my sword here for a little bit. And
yeah.
she starts like taking her clothes.
She's taking her clothes off. She's like trying to like, I just picture her taking her jacket full of like blood and guts and stuff and like shaking it out and it flying all over the place and on all these antiques.
Yeah.
And Jezebel actually calls on the phone, is like, tell her if she leaves her crap in my closet again, I'm putting it in the dumpster.
Yeah. And I'm going to turn you into a toad.
Yes, that's a reoccurring threat that happens.
Yeah. In this, we see Danica. There is the mention of the matching tattoos that they have.
Yes.
So you can see Danica's, and then Bryce is talking about hers that goes down her back.
Yeah.
And that like hers still hurts.
Yeah.
But Danica, this is our first indication, too, of how powerful Danica will be. Yeah. Eventually. Already is, but will be after the drop, which we can talk about as well. Because hers was already completely healed.
Yeah.
And Bryce's wasn't.
Well, because Bryce is half human, so that's basically...
gross.
Embarrassing. Okay.
With our full human asses here analyzing.
I'm judging so hard. So Danica's mother is named Sabine. And she's the alpha of the synth moon pack. And so basically there is a riff between Sabine and Danica because this sword that Danica just like threw in this like closet of some random person's,
it's next to the mop.
Yeah. Is actually like a family heirloom.
Yeah.
That Sabine, her mother, is very, very pissed that Danica has and not her.
Well, her mom is prime apparent, right?
Yeah.
She's second in line. It was always been assumed that. And her grandfather had this dream that Danica, the sword was calling to her. On Danica's 18th birthday, the sword was calling to her. So he skipped it and gave it to her, which is, it's making everyone think that Sabina's going to get skipped over in line and Danica's going to end up being prime.
Which I will say, there were lots of rumors about that happening because they said that, do you remember those rumors? About
what? Queen
Elizabeth handing it, like skipping King Charles because he got a divorce.
Yeah. There's always, fuck the royals. Eat the rich. No. I feel like all of these, there's always a power play with like parents and their offspring.
Yeah.
Right? Like you have to have power for the family to have power, but don't be too powerful because we're all immortal for the most part. So
yeah, you can't be a challenger.
Right.
To my power.
Right.
And giving the family heirloom sword to the daughter is automatically going to give that power struggle.
We also find out that Sabian has always hated Bryce.
Oh, yeah. Well, she comes in on the first day of college, and Sabine is like all irritated.
Your roommate is who?
She is half human. Basically, you got a servant that is in your room, which I think made Danica like her even more.
Probably.
Because it's like, oh, yeah.
Well, all of these guys have a little bit of a fuck you to their parents.
Yeah.
Right? Which, obviously, the struggle and stuff like that. But this is not the first child-parent relationship that we're going to run into that they're like, fuck you, dad, fuck you, mom type of thing.
Yeah. Exactly. So Danica starts talking, like as she's doing this, about how there is a prisoner named Briggs that is going to be released. Because during all of this, she smells but she's asking to borrow clothes and take a shower. And she's like, okay, she doesn't shower unless she has to meet people important.
Slip of knock of Danica's like personal hygiene.
Yeah. It's like, wait a second. She's actually showering and making sure she has a clean shirt. She must be meeting somebody important.
Yeah.
And we find out she's actually meeting with the 7. And these are the 7 heads of Crescent City, the city. We find out that the 7, this is how the city runs, the city of Crescent City. We talked about the world and the class system.
Yeah.
Now looking at this city, which again, this bigger city is more tolerant of mixed breeds and stuff like that. So again,
Alderman.
New York.
Maybe it's aldermen. These are the aldermen.
Okay. We've got Micah Dominus, who is the angel, the archangel.
Yeah, he's the mayor.
Yeah. Well, he's actually a governor. That's what.
Oh, he is a governor that is in this shit.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. There's the Autumn King, which is Fae. Ironic Autumn King reference. Because Autumn King is from ACOTAR too.
And they are Fae.
They are Fae.
And
yes.
He is Fae.
We've got the Prime of the Wolves, which we know Danica is the heir apparent.
The apparent once removed.
The apparent once removed. We've got the Viper Queen of the meat market, and she is actually like a snake shapeshifter. So we've got 2 shifter groups. We've got the Oracle of Old Square, which self-explanatory if you ever read a fantasy. Oracles.
If you don't know what an oracle is,
Google it. No, ChatGPT it. Google is so last century. Okay, we've got the River Queen, who is underwater. She's a mer, not a mermaid or man. She's just a mer. And then we have the Under King of the Bone Quarter, and he's a reaper. And the humans, of course, are not represented.
They out there in the meadows.
Good luck. Okay. So Micah's the head of them all. He's an archangel, and he answers only to the Asteri of the Eternal City, which is the capital of everything.
Yes.
So again, there are governors. Micah's one of the governors. And each one of the governors has something called the Terrari. Is that how you say it?
Terrari? I don't know.
Yeah. And it's basically their elite group of like people that just...
It's their legion.
Their secret service.
Yeah.
But even more than that, because they're their like own personal army. And there is the Umbra Mortis. And this is Micah's personal assassin. And he has the rare gift of lightning. So he is like terrifying. He walks into a room and people like quiet. Yes. He is that renowned.
Powerful.
So a lot of powerful people that we're meeting.
Yes. And he has the 33rd Imperial Legion, which are angels, right? So the most powerful, essentially. So
Danica's talking about how she has to go meet with the 7, and she's going to let them know they should not release Briggs. We find out that Danica runs this pack. It's the pack of devils, right? It's the most elite legion within the army of shifters, of wolf shifters.
Yes.
And this is like her crew. She's the leader of it. It's basically her and all her best friends.
And they haven't even reached their like pinnacle of power because most of them have not gone through the drop at this point. So they're like projected to be the most powerful in history.
Danica leads this group. They actually were the ones that arrested Briggs, because Briggs is a human who is trying to restart a rebellion.
Yeah.
And basically the rebellion is against the Asteri, and which is the gods, and then basically saying, I don't want to be slaves anymore.
Yeah. They uncovered plans for him to blow up a nightclub.
Yeah. A really popular nightclub, so a lot of people had died.
She's walking her over to this meeting because she's nervous.
Yeah.
And as they're walking, we do meet Bryce's mom. Ember Quinlan calls on video conference.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. I don't know if you want to talk about that a little bit.
Well, I think it's just funny, their relationship, because it's literally how you would expect like a 20-something-year-old girl to react when her mom's like FaceTiming her. And she literally was like, "Oh, I'm just walking with Danica." And Danica's in the background going, "Hi, Mom."
Yeah.
Like, so they're just best friends, but it's also an excuse for Bryce not to have to talk to her mom, and she actually just hands the phone to Danica.
Yeah.
And so Danica starts talking. But the big reason, Ember, she is this beautiful human who married her stepdad and everything, but doesn't live very far away, was planning to visit that weekend, but they had to make up some excuse of why they couldn't because Briggs might be loose.
Right.
And Ember knows that, like, her daughter's roommate is the one that put him in jail. So if he's going after anybody, it would be dangerous.
Right. It's dangerous for her to be there. So she is avoiding, you can tell she's, I mean, maybe been avoiding mom and dad for a while, but specifically is trying to dodge and is like, "Oh, we have Ethan's sunball game. We can't make it."
Oh,
and she's
dang
like,
it.
"Oh, I was going to be, oh, Mom, sorry, we got to go." And hangs up on her.
Yeah.
And her mom texts, "That was rude. Seems like you're avoiding me."
Yeah.
It's a very mom
Rude.
text. We also find out in that her stepdad is who she feels like is her real dad, right? Because she knows who her dad is. You can tell in her internal thoughts, but he's not a part of her life. Randall is a human as well, and was kind of renowned, though, a sharpshooter. So we find out like he used to take her shooting and stuff like that. So she knows her way around a gun as well. As they're walking to this meeting, Bryce starts talking about the most recent endeavor that her boss Jessica has her on. Wants her to find Luna's horn, which is a horn that was stolen from Luna's temple during a power outage that happened like a couple weeks before that. We find out it's some ancient relic, but it essentially doesn't have any power anymore, as far as they know. But the Archangel Micah, this is, remember, Governor Micah, has offered a reward for its return. So she's just assuming that's why Jezebel wants it. It's a money thing. We also find out in this line of work, it's a little dangerous, right? They're going and getting relics and things like that. One of the first things that Jezebel gave Bryce was this golden pendant. It's 3 knots entwined in a circle. It's a very old amulet that gives you protection against any outside influence, all kinds of magics and things like that. Very expensive, very rare. Right? Yes. There's only like not even a handful. I think.
If Bryce loses it, she gets turned into a lizard.
Amongst maybe
many
a cockroach things. At this point. Yes. We're not entirely sure. Danica does point it out, though, and is like, "Don't ever take that off," as they're walking and talking. So they get to this gate. It's called Heart Gate. It's in the middle of Old Square right now. And we find out that there are 7 of these across the city. The 7 heads, the 7 boroughs, right? And what they used to be used for is a communication type of device, right? You go and you put your hand on this orb. It takes a little zap of your magic, and you can talk back and forth. So it's mostly like a tourist thing now because they all have cell phones and, technology and such. And I like how they're walking through. And they use it as a wish thing now. It's almost like a wishing well as well. So Danica is like, basically flaunts her power and she's well known. Everyone knows who she is, and cuts the big long line.
It's so funny. Front. The whole time they're like walking through the city and stuff, they're making little comments about how annoying tourists are.
Yes.
But also in the like context of they're stopping while I'm trying to walk in my way.
Yeah.
But they're also like taking pictures of Danica.
Right.
Like, oh my gosh. Like, and Danica's like waving and smiling every once in a while. And they're like, oh, they should make sure that they're on the sidewalk instead of in my way.
Like they're being observed, right? So they get to the gate. They cut their way to the front of the line, basically. This one's called Heart Gate, dead center in the city. And there's this dial pad in the middle. And then around it, you see 7 different gems that represent all those 7 areas.
It's just a stone and then like a symbol for each one of them in this intricate design.
And it essentially like lights up where it's coming from. And as they walk up there, someone like yells titties through the communication device. Because it's like more of just a cool wishing well at this point. Below that is a sign that says at your own risk. Do not use between sundown and sunrise. Violators will be fined. Which I thought was funny that they had to have people stop after sundown yelling titties or penis through all the gates of the city. Apparently, there's some sort of ley line that runs through Luathian. This was originally for guards to speak to each other to guard around the city. The plaque below it says, "The power shall always belong to those who give their lives to the city." So it requires a little bit of magic. Bryce is kind of talking about how this is all mumbo jumbo and it's like an old fable, but if it makes Danica feel better as she goes into this very difficult meeting, fine. So Danica puts her hand down and wishes that Ethan, which we find out in a little bit is one of the pack's little
brother
brothers that plays is very good at Sunball. Hope he wins this game tonight. And then she's like pressuring Bryce, and Bryce is like, "This is all stupid." Fine. Puts her hand down, takes a little zap of magic. We also find out that Bryce is like not very powerful. She's like, "I don't even have enough magic that this is even gonna work." Like this little zap.
she's half human.
Yeah. And she's like, "I wish that Danica would get a manicure because her nails look like shit."
It's really bad.
So they just very much playfully like jaw back and forth. We also find out that this little bit of magic, this is our lead into what the drop is.
Yeah.
We find out Bryce and Danica plan to make the drop together. They both are going to do it when they're 27. They're 25 now. So like in 3 years, they're going to do it together. The drop is what gives you like the pinnacle of your power, right? So essentially you drop down into the depths of what your power would be. The death of your soul happens. And then you have to plummet your way back up to the top before you like die or are like floating in this abyss forever. No one really knows what happens, but you have a couple of minutes to make your way back up. That is what kind of gives you your quote unquote immortality. So this is what you were talking about. They don't have like true immortality. They just start to age very, very slowly, but that is when the clock starts to tick. Right? Yeah. And that's when it freezes.
Well, and this is when their power actually like settles.
Yes.
So they are able to heal. So you'll hear throughout this whole book, the constant conversation is, "But Bryce, you haven't done the drop yet," or "Danica, you haven't done the drop yet," or such and such. So a lot of it is like pre-drop, post-drop.
Well, because right now they could still die very easily.
Yep.
But post-drop, they can die.
Yeah.
But it's much more difficult.
It is.
So you take more risks then, not now, right? They also go get like a test done at a certain age to kind of find out, at least for Bryce, to find out if she had any of this or not, because being human, she could have not gotten that side. Yeah. She could have not had the option for immortality. So Bryce did find out, okay, yes, I can do the drop. Danica's test confirmed that she will have considerable power. So this is part of that, the foreshadowing into the relationship issues with her mom, right? She's going to be very, very, very powerful once she does the drop. Grandpa had a vision, gave her the family heirloom. Yeah. Danica's the shit.
That's why everybody's taking pictures of her.
Yes.
She's kind of a big deal.
Well, it's so much so that not only would she get skip her mom and be prime of their pack, prime alpha of all packs on the entire world. So
big deal.
That powerful, more powerful than anybody they know.
I will say one thing about the drop is you cannot do it by yourself. And so the whole thing is you dive into your power, but then once you reach your power, it's that much harder to come back.
Yeah.
And if you dive too far, then there's no coming back. Well, if nobody's there to yank you back, like you'll be stuck there forever, right?
Yeah,
in that floating abyss or whatever.
Yeah.
If you don't have somebody, and you have to trust whoever is doing it, because they could just drop you and then you're done, right? So it has to be a trusting relationship. But if you don't have a trusting relationship, the city just lends you somebody. Yeah. So it's like, if you can't afford a lawyer, one will be provided for you. That's how I pictured that.
And Bryce and Danica are going to be each other's anchors.
Yeah.
for the drop, right? Because they're like sisters, essentially.
More than sisters.
So Bryce gets home from work and the entire pack of devils, so like 7 werewolves, are in her apartment. Mm-hmm. And I love how she was just thinking, oh, I just wanted to get out of these heels and get out of this dress and like lounge around. And now they're all going to be there. I'm just going to read a book in my room by myself. So obviously it went well. Ethan won his sunball game and they're all there. After we find out Ethan is Connor, who is Danica's second, is older than her, but Danica's second, and Ethan is his brother that plays sunball.
Yep.
So she comes in and she's like, so how'd it go? And Connor's like, she's in there, which is like eating all the pizza before we get any of it, because the alpha gets to eat first and decides when the rest of the pack gets to eat.
And
so
she
they're all
needs
sitting
her food
there
right now.
Yeah. And so Danica,
the funny thing is, sorry, Bryce mentions I've seen her eat like 2 whole pizzas.
Yeah.
So if she's had a bad meeting, she might eat like 3 or 4, and these guys are gonna starve.
Yeah. Yeah. And I like how Danica's like, no, I'm not. And Bryce goes in the kitchen as she's like shoving a whole pizza in her a slice of pizza in her mouth, and she's like, shut up, like, don't even say anything. So we find out the meeting didn't go great, right? It wasn't necessarily the meeting, it was the information that was found out in the meeting and then her mom's reaction after the meeting. So Briggs was released on technicalities. The Angels and Micah were trying to figure out how to not make that happen, but it was basically like the equivalent of some paper wasn't filed or signed appropriately, so he's getting
You
out.
accidentally circled the male instead of the female box.
Something like that, yeah. And so he got released on that technicality. Not just that, 2 university research students were killed near Luna's temple the night the blackout happened, the week before, and it was in Danica's like area, her posted area. So her mom very much thinks it's her fault and blames her for it.
In front of everyone.
Yeah.
And waited until the king, the prime of the wolves, was asleep before she attacked, because now she doesn't have anybody to defend her.
Yeah, exactly. So the students, this was a month ago, mind you. So Bryce is like, we're just finding out. And she's like, apparently. But they were torn to shreds, partially eaten. So it was one of those like, how the hell did you not know this was happening? It was right in your area.
I mean, they're supposed to have really good hearing. So you'd hear somebody be torn limb from limb.
Well, she's a werewolf. I think they can hear well too. Not as good as the Fae, but smell it too. They were talking specifically about the smell as well. How the hell did you not know? It, in all honesty, hearing the retelling of the story as Danica is shoving pizza in her mouth, I was kind of on her mom's side. Like, what the fuck are you doing? You have to try to fail that bad, Danica.
I actually was thinking, based on all of the background about their relationship, are we sure she wasn't snorting coke?
We don't know. We don't really know. We're not sure what's going on. But yeah, it's possible. In this conversation, Bryce realizes she has a date with her boyfriend, and she doesn't seem too happy about it.
She's
not like,
interested.
I gotta go get ready. Blah. Goes in her room, has like 30 minutes to get ready, and we find out she usually takes like 3 hours to get ready.
She's one of those.
She puts on the full face and all of that. So she very half-asses her makeup routine and washing the filth off, and puts on a slutty ass dress and walks out. And right away, Danica's like, they are not going to let you in looking like that. You look like a prostitute. And she's like, we'll see. Goes into the kitchen real quick and to take a shot before she has to go meet up with her boyfriend. Signs about this boyfriend being a good guy and here for the long haul are not looking good.
No. Like, I picture her like just like taking a washcloth and cleaning her pits.
Putting on some lip gloss and like
just
pinching her cheeks.
She'd rather read a romance novel and put sweatpants on.
I feel you, Bryce.
I get it.
Like, I get it.
The great thing is I just do that in my sweatpants, and it's basically that's my date with my husband.
Yeah, there you go. So Connor comes in to the kitchen as she's taking shots.
Yeah, he does.
Very much chemistry, right?
Yeah.
You can tell they've been playing this there's a lot of sexual tension going on. And he's like, "How about you go on a date with me?" And she's like, "I don't date wolves. I don't date dogs. All right."
Woof.
And I don't
Woof, literally.
I don't need a veneer male in my business. I already got your pack leader all up in my shit all the time.
She definitely has like an anti-alpha male situation going on.
Yes, it's also very obvious there's some daddy issues going on. We have some trust issues. I have to admit, she's kind of mean.
She's pretty mean.
I kind of felt bad for Connor.
Connor's kind of great. I like him.
Yeah. We do find out, like, in her, like, inner thoughts, she's like, I'm not going to be seduced. You know, I'm not going to let you seduce me, just like my dad seduced my mom and then fucking dropped her as soon as she was pregnant with me.
Yeah.
So we find out that, like, she knows her dad's fae, obviously, but she kind of knows who he is, essentially, and he made the decision to not be a part of their life.
And he's a bum.
Yes.
We can say it.
So they leave the kitchen. She's going to leave. Connor kind of sits down on the couch like...
I asked her out and she didn't say it.
And Danica like notices it and kind of looks at her and is like, oh, give him a fucking chance. Like there's eye communication between best friends.
So obviously she doesn't really like her boyfriend.
Yeah.
But he did just ask out somebody who's actively getting ready to go on a date with her boyfriend. She's taken, man. You can't ask her out. See, these are the things.
Annoy me.
I told you I was going to annoy you.
We already can tell this guy is worthless. We shouldn't even be talking about him in all honesty.
But she is still technically connected to this guy.
Okay, morality police. Whatever.
I told you you're going to get so annoyed. But don't worry, it only lasts 3/4 way through the book.
Future Marissa, cut all this out. Jesus Christ. Anyways, she goes to leave, and we find out their little like catchphrase back and forth to each other, which I think is hilarious. And she's just like, "Light it up, bitch," and she's like, "Light it up, asshole," and they leave.
That should be our thing, by the way.
Danica did follow up the "light it up, bitch," "light it up, asshole" with "I love you." Aww. And that's why, like, and Bryce goes, she never says that. We get a flashback to some dangerous situation that the two of them were in. We don't get a lot of info, but she's like, she didn't even say it then. So they've been through some shit together, but she said it now. I was like, oh. So as Bryce is walking to this date in her 5-inch heels, and she's got like 20 blocks to walk, right? Mm-hmm. But it's a busy city. Connor sends her a text message, and it's like very much simping. Okay? He's like, please go out on a date with me. You won't regret it. I promise I'm going to be the best.
I'm really cool, man.
I'm so worth it, all right? I'm crazy about you and all of this stuff. He's very much simping. She is thinking about how they've been dancing around this little thing forever.
5 years.
For 5 years, right? And she knows they're going to end up together, but it's like, not now. You can tell, like, it's like serious. They know it's going to be serious right away.
So I will say my husband said he knew when he met me that if we started dating, it would just be serious and that would be it.
Yeah.
And so, like, that's a big thing to step into. Like, you want to probably, like, slow play it.
Well, and you can tell she has commitment issues. Yeah. So she's holding him, and she kind of ignores the text message for now.
Yeah.
For now, she's like, I can't deal with this.
So, Bryce, looking slutty, I would say beautiful or hot, but we know she did not put her best effort forward on her outfit.
Do know by the reactions of people around her when she walks into the restaurant and all of that, though, that fae, half human, half faes like her, tend to be prostitutes because they're more low level because of the human side. Yeah. But fae are like beautiful.
So she's beautiful.
And she's like
but
talking
a bit
about
trashy.
Yeah, she's kind of talking about how they probably think she's a prostitute.
Yeah.
Like there because of her scandalous dress. And she doesn't care. She's like, think what you want.
Yeah.
This is when I knew I loved Bryce.
She does mention a lot about people noticing her butt. So evidently she's got a really good butt.
She's got a great ass. We hear about Iraq a lot too. Bryce
Yeah.
is beautiful.
Okay.
Oh, we haven't mentioned too that she has like rocket red hair.
Yes. And fey pointy ears.
Right. She's very pretty.
Very pretty. So she is at her date and she's getting these like little pity looks from like the waiter walking by, and she's like, oh, he must be running late. This dude is 45 minutes late.
45 minutes.
And he didn't even send a text saying I'm on my way or anything.
And he barely said he was sorry when he showed up.
No, he showed up and he had his head in his phone the whole time.
And was dismissive.
Uh-huh.
Like she had to ask him, so something happened at work? And he's like, yeah, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, the meeting went long because of blah, blah, blah. While he's tip-tapping on his phone.
I was
then
pissed.
she like had picked out what she's going to order, and the waiter comes. He doesn't even look up from his phone, and he just orders some bullshit for both of them.
Yes.
And walks away.
I knew you were going to be pissed when
I was like, she had planned out something that actually sounded good.
Yeah.
And he just did some salmon mousse tartare.
I was
something.
a little surprised she let him, though.
Yeah. So she's just sitting there, like, trying to have a conversation. And in the back of her head, she's just like, he really is a jerk.
Yeah.
But not actually calling him a jerk, just pointing out all
She
the
was
jerky
putting
things.
up with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So barely any conversation. And she's like looking around and is like, okay, the people across the room are noticing me, but my own date won't notice me.
Right.
They put down these like the salmon mousse tartare or whatever. Mm-hmm. And he's tip-tapping on his phone. He's like, oh, like just go ahead. And from her perspective, she's like, I'm going to be done in one bite. Like, what do you mean? Go ahead, get started ahead of me. Yeah. And so she just stands up and is like, F this, I'm leaving. And he's like, oh, okay. And she's like, oh, he thinks I'm just going to the bathroom. She's like, no, I'm like leaving the date. I'm leaving you, you jerk. She says that a lot cooler than that, but that's how I pictured it.
She's just a lot stronger than, than the way you came across.
Yep. She also, on her big exit out, she goes up to this other table that had like a fae woman and then like a human dude that was
she
just
had been
beautiful.
Eyeballing the fuck out of her the whole time. Yeah.
And she goes up to her and is like, do you want to F me? And the lady was like, I'd like to pay to see you F him. And she's like, you can't afford me. Boom. And leaves. Which was just an awkward thing to do on your way out.
Not only that, Reed is behind her like, oh, I'm so sorry about her. I'm so sorry, everybody. I'm so sorry.
Like, no, Bryce, what's going on? Why? Oh, And she's just like.
In her slutty ass dress, like, big mistake. Huge.
And, by the way, I'm not a prostitute. But if I was, you couldn't afford me.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, what you failed to mention. Right before she stands up from the table and breaks up with Reed, Danica sent her a text saying, come on, give Connor a chance, man. He's sitting here sulking like a puppy dog.
Aww.
And I think that was Bryce's like final straw of like,
fine.
Oh, because also before she left, Danica was like, called her out in front of the whole pack.
Yeah.
Like, at least when you have sex with him this time, call him out if he grabs his phone before he's even pulled out of you. Because he did that.
That's bad.
Right.
So again,
she got this text from Danica and is thinking, he's in his fucking phone again.
Just like that time.
I'm leaving.
So one, Bryce is too badass to have even put up with it this long. I'm actually.
Oh, for sure.
So this was the thing that I was like, Nicole's going to get annoyed with me because when you were asking me like, oh, where are you? Oh, how are you liking it? I'm like reading stuff like this and I'm like, she's not a badass bitch.
Oh.
Like she may be able to do stuff, but like
finish the book.
Agreed. But it's, you know how I am.
Yeah.
When guys cross a certain line, it just, I immediately get the ick. And it's like.
This is very much foreshadow, because she's obviously our female main character.
Yeah.
Right? This is foreshadowing of her own internal. She doesn't see herself as worthy yet. Mm-hmm. And we get to live through
her coming into
her light. Yes.
Coming out like a phoenix with
I
red
don't think
hair.
I'd be annoyed with you because I felt that way at the beginning. Because other people had been like, she's awesome. She's like my favorite character.
Like,
and I'm like, fuck Reed.
Yeah.
Like my favorite female main character would have broke his neck.
Yeah. Like I'm sorry. You
think
know me.
Nesta would have put up with that?
I would not have gone on a date with this guy.
No. So she storms out, and what's the first thing she does?
She texts her girls. She texts Fury and is like, where you at? Let's go drink. Let's do this.
Yeah.
And Fury is on the phone like, okay, I need like 10 minutes because I got to finish this job.
Ow, don't. Oh, that hurts.
And Bryce is like, well, be a little nice to him. She's like, I wasn't paid to be nice. So Fury's going to meet her after she's done murdering somebody.
At the White Raven.
Mm-hmm.
Good,
and
good
in
name.
Bryce's head, she's like, oh, I hope it's not too bloody. And she comes with blood all over her. Like that was an option.
Oh, I really hope I don't have to smell that all night tonight.
Oh, that's embarrassing. Then she calls Miss Ballerina.
Juniper.
She calls Juniper, and Juniper is like out of breath, and she's like, that stupid butthead is just dancing and working out instead of partying with me.
Right away she goes, oh, you broke up with them, huh?
Yeah.
And she's like, did Danica fucking tell everybody? And she's like, well, I mean, usually it's only been an hour, so I figured.
Which is so funny because he was 45 minutes late.
Right.
So she literally sat there for 15 minutes. Everybody was like, oh, he lasted an hour. He lasted 15 minutes. Granted, again, not to be annoying, I would have left after 15 minutes. You're 15 minutes late and you haven't called or texted me?
Well,
I'm not
if you
sitting
remember,
at a restaurant.
she was thinking about how she wanted to get laid, and he was like an okay lay.
That's another thing. The funny thing, she was like, he is mediocre at best.
Yeah.
And she's like, when we are doing she's like, we've only done it twice.
Yeah.
But I had to work really hard. It's like I had to concentrate to make it happen. And I had to coach him through it.
Ugh.
So it was too much work.
No, thank you.
I can figure it out later.
Right.
So she goes out. She's partying. She is texting back and forth.
Well, first she goes to get the drugs.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
She goes to get the drugs and somebody's like, I got this new stuff called synth. And she's like, oh, I like that. Oh, yeah. Sorry. All of my...
Hey, guy. You want some stuff?
All my drug dealers tend to be like 1920s, like Rat
Broadway
Pack
villains?
Yeah. So more like Jersey Boys. Okay.
Hey, pretty lady.
Would you like some synth? And she's like, oh, what's that? I haven't heard. And he's like, it'll make you feel like a god. And she's like, cool, how much? And he's like, $30 or their equivalent of dollars. And she's like, I can't afford that shit. Hey, somebody give me some of the cheapest crap ever.
She basically bought weed. I think it was like mill root or something. Yeah. So I figured she bought weed.
And then Fury came with the good stuff.
Fury came with the cocaine.
Yeah.
The light seeker, right? Sneaker? Light seeker?
Yeah.
Like that. And
Fury comes in with this like the white powder and stuff. She's like, look what I got. And she's like, did you buy the expensive stuff outside?
Yeah.
And Fury actually was like, what expensive stuff? And says, do not touch that stuff. That stuff is like horrible.
Yeah, she went from like party girl, let's have fun to like serious.
Yeah.
And Bryce was like, got it. And then they were like, yeah.
I feel like that's the meth. Because I feel like if you do meth, like
that's
meth
vibe I got.
Yeah.
Like stay away from that.
So they go party. Literally,
we got a couple pages of like hallucination.
Oh, yeah.
Small snippets of memories here and there.
She literally said, what is that? Because I can't be hallucinating. I have to work tomorrow.
Right.
So there are drugs that they take where somebody hallucinates for multiple days after taking it.
Marissa, there are drugs in this world where you can hallucinate for multiple days after taking it.
No.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Wow.
Future Marissa, cut that out. You have to remember, I only did this when it was legal.
Oh, what a lit sister you are.
I'm a newbie. Okay. Anyway, so they party.
Oh, another thing I want to point out is we talked about Juniper's a ballerina. Yeah. But Bryce is a dancer and was told she didn't have the body for it. Essentially, it sounded like because she has tits and an ass.
Yeah.
Right? Type of thing is the kind of feedback she got. But in the club, we hear a lot of her love for dance. because like Fae, generally speaking, have a love for music because of their hearing and all that. So it's not just the drugs. She kind of has transcendent
Yeah.
feelings to music in general, right? And the dancing and moving her body. So in these pages of drug hallucination over and over again, we're also getting this like deep, deep love for dance.
For dance.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
music.
So she actually sees a hot guy, like, and it's just kind of like, you know what? I'm on drugs. I broke up with my boyfriend. Connor's kind of hot. I'm going to text him. She texts him. She said, fine. Saturday, pizza, this place, 6:00. Don't be late or it's over.
You will not get a second chance.
Mic drop. And then
Connor's like, okay, cool, you won't regret this. Oh my God, I'm so excited.
And I would never, ever, ever be late. And then he's like, go have fun, babe. Well, I feel like he threw the babe in really early for this being their first.
Like
it's not even a date. It's a trial.
I know, but he's a babe kind of dude. He calls everybody babe.
Okay.
He's been calling her babe for 5 years.
So just for your information, if you call me babe, that feels too close.
We know, Marissa.
Okay. I'm glad I've set very clear boundaries with my sister. So he's like, go have fun and let me know when you get home.
Text me when you get home. Say
I miss you. And then the whole night they're partying and she's just taking pictures and video and sending it over to Danica because she knows it's going to piss off Danica because she's having fun
like
without her.
The friends group chat and they're fucking with her and they're like, have fun hanging with the
this
dogs.
Is so fun. Like, you're watching
doing, like,
that stupid action movie. She
Yep.
actually does a little something with a lion shifter in the bathroom.
Listen, they're young. They're in the city.
We are young.
We listen.
Heartache to heartache.
We don't judge.
No promises, no demands.
Okay.
Love is a battlefield.
All right. Okay. She needs to go home.
So she does.
Yeah.
She doesn't know how she got home. She literally, like, the way this was written was so how I pictured if you're on hallucinogenic drugs.
Yeah, yeah.
So she's just like, oh, I got to my door. Oh, how did I get here? Oh, my feet are slippery. Oh, what's my code? And then she like looks at it and she's like, maybe if I look at it really hard, an eyeball will come out and put the code in for me. And she's like, no, my door doesn't do that. This is literally her train of thought.
And she's like sighing the whole time.
Yeah.
Like,
God, this is so hard.
Code, I got it. Here's the code. And then it's like key. Which key?
There's six
keys. This one does
for
this.
my bike. This one's for my bike lock.
This is the library. This is key door.
Well, and she does say stuff like, my feet are black and cold. My shoes, they're too heavy. I'm just going to get them tomorrow.
Yeah,
and just leaves them somewhere.
Yeah.
She's like, oh, it's hard to walk when there's glass on the ground. And we're like, what the hell is going on here? And she's like, it stinks. I need to talk to my landlord. He needs to clean this shit up.
Yeah.
And she is like walking in and like gets the door open and opens it, and the stench is even worse inside.
Yeah.
And she's like, her phone is too bright for her. She's blinking really hard. She looks up and she's like, I have to be hallucinating. And she sees the house is torn apart. Yeah. It looks like a huge fight. Remember, there are 6 or 7 wolves.
Yeah.
And the top wolf pack of the land, right?
Mm-hmm. The land.
And they are all, there's blood everywhere. These wolves are all cut into little pieces in piles.
Like they're not recognizable
as people.
Yeah.
Or wolves.
Yeah.
Yes. So she's going around and she's like, Danica. It feels like it's going slow motion. I know this is like 2 minutes, but she even writes where it's like slow motion.
Well,
where it even
starts with like they have an iron like door that is crumpled. So
it
she
looks like
looks
paper.
up and she's like, I don't need my key. And the door is crumpled And she mentions that Danica had all kinds of spells and enchantments on the door as
Yeah.
well.
That's why she's like, I have to be hallucinating.
Right.
I thought Fury told me these wouldn't make me hallucinate.
Right.
So she is like mentally trying to wake herself out of this drunken stupor. And she actually goes in trying to find Danica, looks, Danica's on her bed, torn up in pieces in a pile. Right in front of her, her number 2, who would fight to the death, is Connor. She literally just decided to start dating him, and he is dead there. There is Thanos, who we hear in passing.
Thorn.
Oh, Thorn. Sorry.
Thanos is there.
It's so scary. He couldn't even handle this.
It was a purple pile.
Okay.
How did we make Danica brutally being murdered laughable? Okay, moving on.
We have a skill. It's a very important skill. The skill is called weed. But don't tell.
Oh, maybe we just think it's funny. Ha ha ha, purple pile.
Okay. And we know that this is the guy that actually Danica was kind of seeing or like dating a little bit.
Yeah.
And so she is like, something came and destroyed everyone. How is this possible? And she's like, is it still here? She like runs out into the hallway and she sees blood and like wolf prints all around this trash chute. So in her head, she's going, okay, it was here. I interrupted it and it escaped through this trash chute. I've got to go. She goes sprinting down the stairs. Mind you, she's pulling herself out of the stupor, realizing all the black stuff on her feet, that was actually blood that she was walking in.
Glass.
Oh, from the window, the door,
yeah,
and everything that was shattered. And so she's like, ouch, it really hurts when you run.
Well, and she's like bumping into stuff. Like she's fucked up.
Yeah, she's really fucked up. And she's cutting up her feet on the glass and everything. So she's running and she just sounds like she inherently is just almost beast-like with her run, where she is like jumping over cars and chasing this thing. And in her head, she's just like, I've just got to get there. I've got to at least see it.
Yeah.
I've got to be able to see it for Danica. And then like that would remind her in her head, oh my God, Danica's dead. This isn't a dream. This is all real. So she's following it. She's actually more following the screams of other people seeing whatever this is as she goes. She finally gets it into an alley and she sees it like eating a chest of something. As she gets closer, she sees that it's an angel, that it had been able to get to an angel, and angels are the most powerful.
That's what I was just going to say. Remember, they're the most powerful, and it's like it almost couldn't get to its heart. You know, essentially.
But it was trying to eat its heart out. And so everybody else is running away from this huge beast. It's a demon, and it's a clear skinned demon. She actually picked up the table leg from the house.
Yeah.
And she was running with it this whole time. She takes it, runs towards it, and hits him in the head with it. And this demon's blood is clear. So it's just crazy. So she is like hitting this demon with this table leg, fighting the demon. The demon keeps trying to like just knock her over and get back to, hey, you don't have any power, so I can't eat anything from you.
That's what she's assuming. Yeah.
Yeah. But she's like, he's going after this angel. So she's fighting it. It like chews the heck out of her leg. Yeah. So she's got this huge thing in her leg, but she finally gets the demon to run away and she actually runs to the angel, and the angel's heart is like open. His chest is open, and he is like trying to push down on the chest and stop the blood, but the blood is just coming out. And so she goes and puts her hands over to stop the bleeding. She's like, oh shoot, I don't even have my phone. And she's like, where's your phone? And he like lifts up his hip to like be like, it's in my pocket, but like I'm dying.
Yeah.
So she grabs his phone. She calls
like their equivalent to
911. Yeah. And it's like, come help me. And he's like, okay, miss, I need to know where you are. And if you've ever heard any 911 calls, the frustration is so real, because it's like, I am having an emergency and you are acting like this is your day job, which it is. Yeah. So no problem there. So she's like, just track this phone and come find me, because she ran all across the city. She has no idea where she is right now.
Yeah.
And she's like, looks up the phone number.
Track
this phone. And she like keeps saying the number over and over again.
I like how she has to tell them, track his phone. And then as she's saying it, she's just like, fine, I'll fucking do it for you. It's blah, 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 blah.
This is the phone number.
Yeah.
And so all of a sudden he goes, oh, a wolf pack will be there shortly. Okay. And she just like throws the phone because she doesn't need it. And he's like, I need to know more information. It's like, nope, just get here. And she is like passing out.
Yeah. It kind of just, she passes out, essentially. Like, I think she feels people are there and is like gone.
Yeah.
And then it just pans directly to, in like an interrogation room, Bryce is on the other side of what's obviously a two-way mirror.
Yep.
And we meet Isaiah Tiburon and Hunt Athalar. Hunt Athalar, the umbre mortis, blah, blah, blah.
Umbre mortis.
Whatever. So it pans to them, and Hunt is giving Isaiah like the breakdown, right? The police breakdown of the event. Bryce Quinlan, 23, half fae, half human, blood test confirmed she's an immortal lifespan, power ranging near negligible, meaning she will barely have any power. Hasn't made the drop yet, listed as a full civitas, which, again, they mentioned that her dad's got to be some sort of powerful being in order to get her full status.
Because she ain't got no magic, so why wouldn't she be a slave?
Yes. He goes, found in an alley with an angel trying to keep his heart from falling out with her bare hands. He's talking about that cut on her thigh, that an artery had been hit.
Yeah.
And it's flashing to his memory of it. So Hunt is the one that landed right next to her. He took off his helmet and had to tell her to calm the fuck down.
She was just freaking out.
She was freaking out, saying that number over and over again, right? And she just stared at him and like calmed down.
Yeah.
Like did it and just stared. She said he was just staring directly at her, and he had to staple her leg together with like the stapler and the med kit.
And he was like, how is she not already dead? This hit an artery.
It hit an artery, yeah.
How she should be dead right now.
1, she should already be dead. 2, zero reaction to like she was in so much shock.
Yeah.
Is what he was equating it to. He is also going on about what he knows about her, right? So he views her as a spoiled party girl. That's what Danica was. She was just this party girl roommate, and she was known as like a little party princess.
Well, and the drug test showed she was on a crud ton of drugs.
Right. She
like
was on
whatever
a lot of
she
drugs.
was smoking and sniffing was not just 2 things. There was like 6 things.
That being used against her. They could do that, right? As far as we know, that's legal. It's not like it's
That's true. They didn't say illegal drugs.
Right.
They just said drugs.
All right. So they also report out that Philip Briggs was arrested for the murders. It's looking like he had something to do with it, considering Danica and her pack are what put him away. He's been out for a couple of hours. They're all brutally murdered. Ugh. They think he summoned a demon because he was also caught trying to buy, what was it, black salt? Which is what is black onyx, which is used to summon demons. So that's what they're assuming he did. He's in jail. We find out through, again, inner thoughts, who Isaiah and Hunt are and how they're connected to Micah a little bit more here. So Micah had appointed Isaiah as commander of the 33rd. No one really knows where Hunt breaks down. And we realize in this that both Isaiah and Hunt were a part of a rebelling angel legion 200 years ago that tried to rebel against and this is separate from the human rebellion, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So this
he actually even references
before the human rebellion. Yes,
the humans should have, like, Briggs should have come to me and seen how that worked.
Right.
Like, this human rebellion won't go anywhere.
We could have told you the
tried
mistakes.
to rebel against the Esteri, and nobody can beat them.
Yes.
So you little humans.
So we do get a little intro here that Hunt used to be a higher command than Isaiah.
Yeah.
Back then. Much bigger deal. We already know Hunt is extremely powerful. He has lightning and all of that. And that Isaiah's smart and doesn't, like, order him to do anything.
Yep.
but Hunt chooses to follow,
Yes.
essentially is how this breakdown goes. They don't really know where Hunt's rank is. He just arrived 2 years ago from Pangera. And he's powerful as hell.
Well, he has some tattoos, so we do know.
Well, but yeah, so angels in general have some variation of the same power. They all have some sort of elemental thing going on. Some have power of rain, storms, occasionally maybe a tornado here or there. Isaiah can like move wind around and summon that type of stuff. None in living memory have ever possessed the ability to harness lightning like Hunt can. So that shows how powerful. It's not that he's one in a couple of 100 years or centuries. There's no one like him, or and never has been. Very powerful.
Unique New York.
So they both have these matching tattoos you were talking about. They have the SQMP on their wrist, which is like the governing astery, like the body. And they have
the Republic.
The Republic, essentially. And they have barbed wire, essentially, a crown of thorns around their forehead, which marks them as being part of that rebellion from centuries ago.
So I pictured that. I feel like they always said halo above the eye. I didn't picture it as a halo here. I pictured it as like a halo just on the side of your brow.
Oh, it's entwined thorns across their brows. So that's across your brow.
Yikes, that sucks.
That would be way cooler.
I know. I was picturing it looking more badass, I guess.
No, now when you re-listen to it, when it's like the hair was covering, now you'll see like a whole thing like that. Yeah, I saw a crown of thorns. So basically a witch branded them 2,000 years ago when they rebelled against it. And it also like siphons their power a little bit. So Hunt is still that powerful, even with over half of his, we don't really know how much of his power being tampered down by that like shackle, like witch shackle on him. I'm going to point this one thing out that was talked about here because there's a relation to Akatar. The Asteri created angels to be perfect soldiers and loyal servants. And they had until, and I'll talk about Shahar, but doesn't that sound very much the way Amryn presented her origin story? Like, I was never supposed to wonder. I was supposed to serve my God, and I did wonder and went through this rift. I'm just saying. Maybe she was some of the first like Asteri or even something like that. But I feel like Amryn's connected in one way, shape, or form here. We get a little bit of a backstory about Hunt too. So Shahar was an archangel that they called the Daystar, and Hunt and the others had flown with her in their elite 18th Legion. So now the brow tattoo, they are eternally servants to the people they tried to overthrow forever. As we're getting these internal thoughts, Sabian bolts through the door, pissed off. I just see her like seething and wants to kill Bryce. She's asking where the sword is, which I found a little fucked up that her daughter died brutally and the entire pack. You're the prime, a parent. So the pack is supposed to be impactful to you too, but your daughter as well. And all you care about is where's the fucking sword? Where's the sword? Where's the sword?
Yeah.
Suspicious much.
Well, and it made me mad because originally when she busted, I was like, oh, she thinks Bryce was the one that did it.
Yeah.
But then I was like, Sabine would never, because she thinks that Bryce is just like lowly trash, not like no way she could take out.
Which is basically what she said.
Yeah.
Like, she was even mad that Danica is like, now she can't shut her fucking mouth. She was saying stuff like that. And then now she's dead, but that one's still alive. You know, like, yeah. So they were basically like, we need to question her. She's waiting for a question. She's like, I'll question her. They're like, the hell you will. Right?
You do not have jurisdiction here, ma'am.
Victoria is going to be here any minute. All right. Victoria shows up. Victoria is the Wrath. So we find out Wraths, which, I mean, I feel like these are the same in every book of Wraths in, but they assume other people's bodies, right? And other people's shapes. So she is this very attractive woman. Also has the thorns on her brow. So she was also a part of the rebellion. We find out that they were cursed even more. The Wraths were. Not only is she eternally a slave, but Wraths want to jump bodies As soon as aging happens, she is trapped in this body for the rest of eternity. So you're starting to see some lines of age and things like that. But like Hunt's like, good thing she picked a good body.
Yeah,
You know,
that would have sucked if it was an ugly one.
Really been bad. They're talking about the details of the case. Okay, essentially they don't know who Bryce's father is. He didn't acknowledge paternity, but he's got to be somebody high up there. That's something to think about. Isaiah's like, I don't understand Sabian's reaction to Bryce. And Hunt's like, what are you talking about? Like Party Girl Princess and her friend. And he's like, no, Bryce has like 2 things on her record. It was like indecent exposure at some Mardi Gras party and like very college type of things.
Yeah.
Danica has like 7 huge file folders full of shit that she's done.
Yeah.
If anybody is a bad influence,
it's Danica.
It's Danica on Bryce, and it seems like Danica has calmed down since she's been hanging out with Bryce.
Yeah. Bryce is a good influence.
Right. So I don't understand that. And then they bring up Fury as a part of this, and I liked Hunt's realization of who Fury was.
Yeah.
Here, Hunt's this like powerful, no one's ever had lightning, holy shit.
The hombre mortis.
The only reason he's not fucking all you guys up is because of this damn enchanted tattoo. And he was like, ooh, Fury.
She's badass.
She's pretty badass. We also find out that Micah has ordered Hunt to kill her twice before. But she has too many allies and ends up like getting out of it and doesn't have them hunting for her, which I find interesting as well. They go through Bryce's text messages, which I found super invasive. So they're all standing there and Victoria is sitting there with Bryce and they're playing the videos of them doing Light Seeker and
like snorting coke.
Snorting Light Seeker, okay? With Bryce telling Danica, I fucked someone in the bathroom, don't tell Connor, and going back and forth. Then they show Danica asking where Bryce is. Where are you? Where are you? Bryce isn't answering at this point. Then they're still not getting a reaction out of Bryce. Bryce is in shock, quite obviously. They play the hallway video footage from the hallway of their apartment. You don't see anything, but you can hear because the audio's on. And you hear Danica pleading for her life.
Screaming bloody murder. And, please stop. Please
begging,
don't.
And begging, which is like, there's no honor in that.
Yeah.
So her like death is now without honor, essentially. And Bryce is like seething and seething. You can kind of like her fists are clenching. Hunt knows she's gonna like explode and is kind of trying to tell Victoria to stop. She does explode and like furniture goes flying and all of that. And they mentioned that like the only reason Victoria wasn't like injured is because Hunt like had thrown out some magic to block her a little bit. He was impressed by her ability. Again, so this is like a little clue that there's more brewing because she's not supposed to have like barely any magic. That's what I was thinking. Like, how the hell can she explode a room? I thought she was like a teeny itty amount of magic.
Oh, okay. So I'm so interested because I haven't re-listened to this. I thought she threw up all over the place.
She did start throwing up after this.
Okay. I was like, blew up the room. No, she just started throwing up because my mind immediately went to not only did she throw up, then she like sat in the throw up. Then she like laid in the throw up. He was talking about how like there was throw up in her hair.
Yeah, after all of this.
Okay.
But she explodes and trashes the whole room and then starts puking.
Okay. I guess I must have skipped the blow up part because I went straight to how gross the puking
Marissa,
was.
we all know why you were focused on the puking. Unless you're new here. If you're new here, Marissa can't get past
hygiene stuff bugs me.
She can't. So if they would have started making out in the throw up, oh my God, all bets are off.
That's not sexy.
Do not finish the book.
For all you out there, cool point. Throw up in hair is not hot.
So, to what you were saying,
yes,
she's got vomit all over herself in this very scandally
She was rolling
clad.
in it. She like put her knees in it, then she sat in it, then she laid in it,
you guys,
and then she rolled around a little bit.
Not what happened. She had a little bit in her hair.
No, it was gross. Trust me.
But she had a skimpy dress on. And they get, as Hunt's like talking to her, and she's like, I just want to go home. I just want to go home. they get a call. Naomi, who's obviously a part of their legion in the 33rd, saying, let her go. You gotta let her go. Let her out of there right fucking now. And they're like, why? And they're like, Rune fucking Dannon called, and he's angry from the House of Sky and Breath, and he's like pissed because this is Fae territory. She's half Fae. It's their jurisdiction. Let her go. And they're like, what?
Why do they care about this half human butthead?
Exactly.
That has puke everywhere.
Everywhere in this slutty ass dress.
Most people think she's a prostitute.
And then, boom, door slams open. Rune Dannon shows up. And so you don't know this because you're not on social media. So there's been little like reels, and it's like Rune Dannon, Crown Prince of the Barbarian Fae, and son of the Autumn King. So when I read that part, all I could hear is the Rune Dannon, Crown Prince of the Barbarian Fae. And he busts in. He's like, what the fuck are you doing? And they do notice he has the sword. So there is some possessor. He's the possessor of this very, very powerful star sword, which is the fabled dark blade of the ancient starborn Fae. So Rune also is a prince, but he's also like, quote unquote, the chosen one. So there's all these like younger generation.
Yep.
I don't know. Can you qualify Hunt as younger generation? He's a couple thousand years old, so maybe not. But the sword is apparently made from a meteorite that is forged in another world before Fae had come through the Northern Rift.
My gosh. Every time we talk about this, are you going to talk that slow?
Hint, hint. Wink, wink. It's sounding like something from another world. Like a sword that they couldn't find, but they found the smaller version of that. Okay, I'm just saying. Anyways.
Are you talking about Gwendolyn?
Obviously.
Okay. I'm caught up now.
Gwendolyn? Also, fire magic is very common amongst Fae. Mm-hmm. Again, Autumn King, Autumn Court, fire. Mm-hmm. Just saying. But it is not common. Rune also has shadow magic from his mom's side.
Oh, somebody of shadows.
Do we know any other shadow daddies? That might be through a northern rift somewhere.
Interesting.
The way they describe his powers sound very to me. How he brings the shadows in and out and can hide in them and come out and things like that. Rune comes for Bryce. Initially, they're like, whoa, why are you so into her? And he's like, she's my fucking cousin. Okay, it's not like that.
We're related. And we're not the type of royalty that's into that.
We do find out in the inner thoughts that they're not just cousins.
No, they are not.
Bryce is Rune's sister.
Dun, dun, dun.
So the daddy that got her full civitas status and all of that is the Autumn King.
She is a princess in her own right.
The plot thickens.
This also, how have people not put this together? Because why would they put the princess of the wolves with just some half-human person? How did she get matched up like that?
Like it was known. But then why would Sabian hate her so much?
Sabine.
Whatever. Bitch. Mommy bitch. Whatever.
Well, because she's stupid.
Oh, possibly.
She's not good at connecting dots.
I was very sad after this. So then it pans to Bryce kneeling in front of ivory gates in the bone quarter. Mm-hmm. And she's sad. She's depressed. We hear, I thought it was the funeral at first. Mm-hmm. And then it pans to, no, Ethan left her a message telling her she's not welcome at the sailing, which is their version of a funeral. Mm-hmm. You sail in a pyre, basically across, and if you make it across to the bone quarter and you don't get submerged and eaten by all the mer people, then you make it to Valhalla. No.
Yeah, I mean, that's what it sounds like.
That's essentially what it is, and your soul isn't doomed. So we hear she's not welcome. She's not allowed to be there. And it just kind of ends with a creature coming out of the mist to meet her. We don't find out who that creature is. We don't find out why she's there.
Yet.
Dun, dun, dun. Right.
Okay, that's sad. Now fast forward 2 years, because that's exactly what happens. And we come back to Bryce, and you know what? She's in the White Raven's bathroom, and she's doing some random dude.
She's having a good time.
Mm-hmm. Is it a good time? She seems like it's kind of meh.
She said it's the best sex she's had in a while.
But remember her ex-boyfriend, Reed?
It has been 2 years. I would hope she knows how to get better dickety.
I mean, she was in love with Connor, and he's gone, so...
She didn't say that.
I loved Connor, okay? This is another reason I struggled with the first part of this book. I was already 100% into Bryce and Connor.
It was very Game of Thrones.
I was ready.
Like, kill the main character in the first episode.
Connor will never be late to your date. I was in.
Connor will never be...
He wanted her to text him to make sure she got home safe. Connor had me sold.
He's creme brulee.
And now we got fucking Jello. No, I'm kidding.
Will never be Jello.
So she leaves this lovely lion shifter and is like, I got to go to a meeting. And he looks at her and he's like, oh shit. Anybody who's going to a meeting dressed like that, and he goes, I can't pay you. And so everybody really does think she's a prostitute. And she just looks at him and she's like, this one's on the house.
She laughs in his face first.
It really wasn't on the house because she's not a prostitute. She just gives it away for free.
It was a good line. It was a very good line.
I don't know why she's not more offended. I feel like I'd be pissed every time somebody thought I was a prostitute.
Yeah, I think it's just part of her personality. It's like self-deprecating. It's like she doesn't think very highly of herself either. So it's kind of a hard-ass way, self-deprecating humor. Huh. That's what I saw.
Maybe
I may or may not be well versed in deflection.
Maybe that's more like if you're pretty enough to be a prostitute. So it's like
I don't think
asking if you're a model or something.
I think Bryce knows exactly how attractive she is and how to use it and when, and it's not like
she don't care.
I don't think she's insecure in that way.
Yeah. So she meets up with Maximus Tarshan. We'll call him Maxie. And he is a 200-year-old skeezy vampire.
Which, FYI, if you're listening to the dramatized audiobook version out there, I highly recommend it. But they make this vampire sound exactly how I read him. He sounds so sleazy. He's like, hi there, da da da. And like the way they describe him, very creepy.
Very creepy.
Greasy. I just saw greasy hair.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's very rich. He's also got quite the reputation.
Yeah.
So she's just thinking, I got to just make this deal. This guy just needs to sign on the dotted line.
Which, what is a 5,000-year-old onyx bust of a long dead vampire lord? Isn't your bust your torso?
A bust is what they call the statue from here up. That's the name of the type of statue.
Oh, okay. That makes a lot more sense.
Yeah. No, it's not just somebody's
Future
boobs.
Marissa, please cut that out.
Nope,
I know what a bust is.
Well, there's two words for bust. In this context, it's a statue from here up.
But I probably should have inferred onyx bust.
Yes, you should have.
Meant.
Well, I think in the context of the story, you've got to just assume it's not somebody's boobs.
I thought they how you can put a medallion, bronze baby shoes.
Yeah.
I thought they
bronze
onyxed
somebody's boobs. Okay. Okay. So onyx is also stone, not metal.
Please take this out. I know it's funny and you're laughing right now, but please take this out.
I don't know if I can take this out.
Okay, moving on.
Okay, so there was this iron bust of somebody. No, I'm just kidding.
Iron boobies.
And he bought them, which is really weird.
He's got a lot of money,
But he also thought he got her as an add-on, and she said no.
She said more than no.
She said, "Fuck you."
I did find it, not to wah this moment, as this like interaction is happening in this deal, and he's being sleazy and she's being like putting a wall up, but also having to be flirtatious because of the nature of her job, the like actual depression she
That's
is
going
going
through.
through.
Oh, 100%.
She sees these girls celebrating their drop, right? And so you were talked about this earlier, right? The drop, it's done at a civil or a civic place, right? So that they can take the energy from the drop and use it to light our lights, light the houses and stuff. But they use the energy. You get just like a little bit. And people usually make party favors out of them. And so they saw these girls with like, I think headbands or halos or something.
Yeah.
And she's like, I was gonna have keychains that said "light it up, bitch," and Danica wanted shot glasses, so it's like making her think of that.
Yeah.
She saw the booth that Fury and Juniper and her were in that night, and like didn't want to look directly at it, but knew it was there.
Yeah.
And then mentioned how Fury has never returned one of her text messages since that day, so she hasn't talked to her in 2 years, and that Juniper like made the professional ballet thing or
so
place,
she's been super busy,
she's been busy
and occupied.
She rarely talks to her either.
Yeah.
So like all these little like things are happening, and she's having to do business and carry on. Oh, also that like she hears the music and she's having that attachment, but she refuses to dance.
Oh, she will not dance socially or anything.
It's this massive mask.
She won't even tap her foot.
She won't. Refuses.
That reminds me of that one. Drax from Guardians of the Galaxy. How he's like, the most joyous beat would be going, she would not even tap a foot. Do you remember that part where he's talking about his most beloved?
Yes.
Now she was
a awful person.
She's just not a very fun person, but that was sexy.
That was one of my favorite twists on like a love story.
Yeah.
She was a heinous bitch.
The most melodious. I don't even know how to say it.
She had the most raunchous stench. It was glorious.
So she's very sad. She's looking at all of these different things. We find out she hasn't done the drop yet because she has nobody to do it with.
Right.
And she's not really, sounds like she's planning on doing it.
She just hasn't really thought about it because Danica's not there, you know?
He thought he deserved to have her along with the deal. And he's like, if I'm paying this much money, like, you get part of this. And she's like,
her thought,
F you.
But her thought was more, that's rich. 2 times in one night being confused as a prostitute. That's new. And then just like went around.
Just like, these are signs, sweetie pie. Put on a sweater.
What a dick. But she was just a smart ass back and was basically like,
yeah,
no thanks.
See you later.
And then the way she described it is like you felt more power in the room and a territorial, and this is all feelings, right? Magic, feeling the current of the magic shift that someone energy. More powerful entered the room than him. And he was just like, mine. I'm like, what? She goes, oh, she turns around and it's like this very familiar fae.
Yep.
It's Rune.
Yeah.
And she's like, relax, it's my cousin. And
like,
and
it's not
uses
like
that distraction though to grab the check and back away from the table.
Which is so crazy that literally this vampire was going, she's mine.
Yeah.
To Bryce.
I was thinking, sounds like a Saturday night in my 20s.
Okay. That's again why the 90s and early 2000s was a sad time.
Thank God they were analog.
Okay. So Bryce gets out of there. Rune is like, come on. Aren't you going to say thank you for me saving your life? She's like, I got it. It's fine.
She's like, why are you here? And he's like, I play poker with the dude that owns the place. He said, you seemed like you were in trouble. And she's like, I had that. And he's like, he seemed like what's his face was fucking with you. And
she's like, he was.
Yeah.
But I can handle myself.
Listen, it seemed like a tense situation to me.
I think it was good that he walked in.
Yeah.
But I don't know. She might have had something up that itty bitty dress that made everybody think she was a prostitute.
In this interaction, though, we do find out why there's this tension between them. that they were very close growing up, and some big fight happened about 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And that's so Bryce has the chip on her shoulder with him. Because that's what it very much seems like.
Yeah.
Like he's trying and he's being nice and he's coming in to save her. He's being a brother.
Yep.
And she's like, fuck you, you swine.
Well, she's not nice to him, but she's also keeping a lot of stuff away from him. Like we find out that she's not drinking. She hasn't taken any drugs since that night, which totally understand because that was her biggest frustration was like trying to pull herself out of the drugs. And Rune does not know that she's not drinking.
No, and even the way we find that out, she's like, "Why are you really here?" And he's like, "The Autumn King wants you to lie low because there's this big meeting coming up. The summit is coming up, and he wants basically everyone to like fall in line." He goes, "I didn't think Daddy cared," and he's like, "He doesn't, but he's really like anxious, like something's going on. I haven't seen him this riled up since 2 years." And what was 2 years ago was Danica.
Yeah.
So Bryce starts to like lose it. She's like, and he's like, calm down, calm the fuck down. And like she eventually does. And she's like, it's fine. I'll just, drink myself. And she's pretending that she's drinking and getting drunk, like to like get away from him.
Yeah.
And she's not.
No, it's water. She's very hydrated.
So she storms out of the bar and walks home. And we find out she lives in this like fancy ass penthouse.
Yes.
That Danica left her.
In her will.
Oh.
Evidently, Danica had this apartment the whole time.
Yeah.
She just lived in that shitty apartment as a side hustle.
Well, to live with Bryce because she knew Bryce wouldn't want to be handed anything. And that's what Bryce could afford.
Yeah.
We forgot to mention how shitty their apartment
was. In a really bad neighborhood, too.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, the first question when they all got brutally murdered was this drug deal gone wrong?
I know. And Rune also followed her all the way home from a distance.
Yeah.
And, like, she saw him before she went into the apartment building, and he, like, kind of saluted to her, and she, like, flipped him off. And then she goes into the apartment and we're getting all these internal thoughts. And she's like thinking about how she has to turn the light on. Otherwise, in 3 minutes, he's going to be pounding on the door to protect her. So he still is like always following her and protecting her. So whatever he did, it must have been bad.
It was bad.
It must have been bad because she is pissed.
So pan to Hunt. So basically, Hunt lives in the barracks. So just like a room with a bunch of other people. And he is like a personal assassin for Micah.
Right. But what we find out is what he really does. And again, the dramatized version, it literally pans to this chapter and you hear like, please, no. Ow. Like you pan to someone being tortured.
Yeah.
And Hunt basically, trying to get information and then like being very brutal.
Yeah.
Brutally killing this person. Pan to let me walk through the barracks and all of that in this state building smelling like multiple people's blood.
Oh, and everybody has really good senses.
Right. Yes. Like his friends literally sniff him and they're like, you're fucked up, man.
Yeah.
Like they can tell what he did. And I think one of the guys, Justinian, is like, a bullet works just as good. And he's like,
I wasn't paid to give a bullet.
That's not what was wanted or something like that. I forget how he said it. He said it in a very grumpy soldier way.
Yeah. So we actually find out about Hunt's backstory. So remember, he is powerful. He has the power of lightning. He is a slave to Micah, and he used to be owned by Sandriel. And this is a really fucked up story. So Sandriel, who is an archangel and a governor of a different territory. So she is the Micah of a different section of the world.
Pangera.
Yeah. She was twin sisters with his previous love.
Identical.
Yes.
Twin.
Identical twin sisters. So he like even talks about while he's describing his relationship with Sandriel about Shahar, and that is his love. Basically, Hunt was bastard born angel. So he does not know who his mom is.
No idea.
He's bastard born, we know. And the angels have a hierarchy. And so most people, he wouldn't have been able to get as high in the army as he did. But Shahar actually saw something in him, and he ended up being her second. And she was also a general. And basically, when the rebellion happened 200 years ago, it was because Shahar felt like there should be equality. Like, this isn't right. We're not treating people right. All of the things that Hunt truly believes, right?
She wanted to get rid of all these hierarchies
Yeah,
that were limiting people.
She wanted equality.
She also thought her sister had their parents killed.
Oh, I do not remember that.
Oh, yeah. And framed a different assassin for it. So that was like part of the kickoff of it all, is what we found out right now.
Yeah. So Sandriel, she was actually the governor on the side that won. Shahar, her twin sister, was killed. She killed her. And then Hunt was given to her. He was her slave.
He was with 2 other people before. She was the third one. But yeah. She always believed that there's no way her twin sister would have turned against her. So she believed Hunt had like lured her twin into the rebellion to turn her against, not that it was Shahir's rebellion.
Yeah.
So she always believed the opposite.
Which was not true, according to Hunt. Because we only have his narrative.
So he was under her for like over 50 years.
Until she got into debt and had to sell him to Micah.
That's a hell of a debt.
Yes.
We need to learn more about that too.
Agreed. Then, so Micah said, okay, you have to assassinate one person for me for every person that you killed in the battle.
Which, this is interesting, right? Because he's had 2 other owners. This is his 4th. Micah's his 4th owner. Sandriel, like, Hunt basically decimated most of their army. Super powerful, right? Second in command. He was her personal assassin. Then he goes to Micah, and Micah actually gives him this deal.
Yeah.
And he's like, it might be bullshit,
right?
It
probably is.
But at least there's an option. At least there's like hope in there. No one's ever given him that opportunity before. So he's like,
to
all right,
earn his freedom.
A death for a death. I can do that.
But then he finds out, oh, but since you were the leader of the rebellion, you also have everybody's deaths you're responsible for, which is the whole tree underneath you. Because like he looks at the number one time and it's like over 2,000. He's like, there's no way I killed that many people.
Right.
And then it was clarified, no, you were one of the leaders. You have a death for everybody that died, basically.
So it is 2,217 deaths.
That he has to one by one murder.
He has tacked off a grand total of 82.
He's getting there. That's still a lot of people to be murdered.
Keep working. And then as we're finding this whole story, these are all inner thoughts of him walking through the barracks to take a shower, to shower all of this off. It's also very obvious that it is hard on him to do this. Like, he doesn't like it. It takes its toll on him.
Yeah.
He talks about how he's just given a file with information that he needs to know and when he needs to kill this person, and small notes like no guns, like the one today.
Yeah.
It said no guns, and he knew that was basically meant make him suffer.
So how this interaction begins is we get a knock on Griffin Antique's door, and it is Hunt and Isaiah, and Bryce is inside like, why are these people on my doorstep?
And she's like, no one's home. What do you want? You don't need anything here. And they're like, we need to come in and talk to you. And she's like, I'm with a customer. No.
Hunt and Isaiah are researching a new crime. It turns out that Maximus was killed in exactly the same fashion as Danica, directly following her meeting with him, in which there was some abrupt leaving and irritation between the two of them.
Right.
So she is looking super sus right now.
Right.
Something's going on.
And her mind is just going, so Briggs didn't do it.
Yeah. Oh, shit. Because Briggs was immediately put back in jail.
Right. Right. So in this like interrogation,
yeah,
back and forth, essentially, what were you doing with him last night? And she tells them about like her cousin having to show up, and he was killed in the meat market. And she's like, all right, well, if he was killed in the meat market, I'm assuming he went to purchase what he wanted to take from me. Like he thought he got me as part of it. So she was very honest with them about what was going on and all of that. And they're like, okay, well, we're not here just for a murder. Micah's going to be here in about 10 minutes. Yeah. So we were here to ask you about the timeline from last night and your whereabouts, and to make sure you were available, you and your boss were available. So get Jessica on the phone. And she's like,
oh, she doesn't do that.
Okay.
She's going to try to turn me into a lizard if I ask her to do that. This isn't a good idea.
So she calls Jezebel, and Jezebel, you can hear like a... Yes.
Like when she got caught taking a nap in the middle of the day. I see you, Jezebel.
And Bryce like hears two men like groan in the background, but she's like, the archangel is going to be here in 10 minutes and you're needed on a video call. And it's like, okay, what happened? And she's like, Maximus died. Well, shit. Have you heard from his dad yet? No, haven't heard from his dad. She's like, okay, I got some calls to make. When is he going to be there? And she's like, 8 minutes. Okay, fine. Jezebel is then like, so you know how to lock everything down, right? And Bryce is like, I'll check it again one more time. But she's like, I already checked it before I even let them in the first time around. So she lets them in. They sit down. The video call comes on. I do love that she's like, Jezebel's got this beautiful room behind her. And I know she made a bunch of calls and she looks flawless.
She beautiful.
In 6 minutes.
Yeah.
Essentially. Like, well, she is an enchantress, so that could have been a...
No, I think it was a... or a wiggle of the nose. That's what the 60s
That's
taught
my
me.
sound effect. That's a wiggle nose sound.
Oh, that sounds like a rewind one. This is awkward.
Micah comes strolling in, wants to speak to Bryce and Jezebel. He wants Bryce to help find the true murderer. I thought that was a little sus to begin with.
I know personally that police officers come to me all the time and just randomly ask me for my opinion on cases.
When they have magic and you barely have any.
Don't. But that was only when I was basically a receptionist at an antique store. So maybe that's it.
Oh.
She's got a special skill set.
With a fire sprite. As your coworker. That I forgot that situation. Basically, Micah wants the murderer caught before this summit meeting, which we already heard about this big meeting. And Jessica's kind of poking at him, which shows you how powerful she probably is.
She's a big deal.
Because Micah's a big deal. Micah's a very big deal. Yeah. And that she is basically like, what, your guys can't do their job right, so you need my assistant to help you solve a murder. And he's like, he kind of eats some humble pie. He's like, yeah, we obviously put the wrong person in prison. He did a bunch of other stuff, though, FYI. Yeah. He did all this other stuff, so he's going to stay in prison. So
that also sounded a lot like police trying to cover themselves up. I feel like the Innocence Project probably should look into Bryce.
I agree. Consider this our official submission.
Yes. We do know that Jezebel has a direct connection or relationship with the Underking.
Yes. She has a connection with the Underking.
That's part of why we think she might be powerful.
So that is the House of Flame and Shadow, right? No.
Yeah, Reapers, Flame and Shadow.
And she is actually from Earth and Blood.
Because she is a witch.
In this conversation, we find out that Sandriel is coming as a representative of like the head, the Astri.
Yeah.
To the summit this time.
You see Hunt's face just go white.
Well, and Isaiah, in all honesty. But there's obviously a connection with Hunt. Yeah. Because he was with her for so long. They also bring up Pollux is coming with her, which is her commander of her legion, right? Who is known as the Hammer.
That's a great name.
The Hind is Pollux's lover. The Hammer and the Hind are just known across the 7 territories as being like terrorizing pieces of shit. Okay? They are both visibly like worried.
Yeah.
Little like apprehensive, to say the least. Another reason he wants Bryce to do this. Danica and Maximus were apparently friends. And Bryce is like, there's no way. I wouldn't know that she was friends with an arrogant POS rich vampire. Right? And Danica, opposite. They knew each other, according to Micah. So they think she has some sort of connection. Hunt kind of stirs the pot a little bit and kind of infers that Bryce could be a suspect as well, which I thought was a little interesting to kind of fire it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Jessica doesn't really care about that. All she cares about is getting her paper.
Yeah.
And she's like, okay, but you're going to pay me for her services. And Micah's kind of like, I am the hierarchy here. You will do what I say. And she's like, no, she's jury duty. I get paid. And he's like, fine, send me your bill. Whatever.
She like is like in clause 2, line 7, in quotes.
And he cuts her off. He's like, fine, you're lawyering up. You're lawyering up. Fine. So Bryce has her mission. She is going to find a murderer and avenge Danica and the pack. I like how Jezebel, to close this out, Jezebel's like, none of your work here falters or I'm going to turn you into a fucking snake.
Yeah.
Toad.
This is a side job.
Cricket.
That I'm getting paid for.
That I'm getting paid for your time, and don't fuck this part up either. Mm-hmm. Got me?
And I want to note, Bryce is not a slave.
No, she's not. We do know she's indebted to Jezebel in some way, shape, or form, and she has to pay off that debt. Because when she's doing what all of us do when we get pissed off at our job, before she was like, I could fill out those resumes again. So she's searching for another job, and we hear about how she has to pay off her debts and figure it out in some way.
Yeah.
We pan to a conversation with Micah and Hunt. And Micah's telling Hunt, if he solves this case and solves it quickly, how about I make it interesting for you? All right? You are going to guard Bryce and make sure this shit happens and make sure it happens fast.
Figure
before
it out.
the summit. And I'll knock all those deaths, the 110 that you have left, down to 10.
Yeah.
And Hunt's like, could he stretch these 10 across 1,000 years? He could, but at least it's closer than I've ever gotten to freedom.
Even if it's 1,000 years, you're not murdering people every day.
Right. It's 10 more, and that's it.
Only 10 murders left. So he says, heck yeah, I'm in.
I'll do it. So they're going to have to work together. All signs to their ending interaction are not pointing to this being a very conducive relationship for working together.
No.
She's basically like, peace out, get the fuck out of here.
I don't need you.
And he's like, make a list of suspects, retrace Danica's timeline. He's copping it up. Yeah. And she goes, fuck you, slams the door in his face.
Yeah. I work alone.
This is not going to be easy to get this down. We also get a little hint into Hunt and Rune not having a very good relationship either. Before we pan into Rune's debrief of all this to the Autumn King. So the Autumn King told Bryce to lay low, and she's now on a mission for Micah.
To be honest, she didn't really have a choice. The governor...
I don't think the Autumn King gives a fuck.
of equivalent height. No, he's like...
higher than the Autumn King?
Yeah, higher than the Autumn King.
Yeah.
And her boss, who she's indebted to and can and has threatened to turn her into other things.
Right.
Have tasked her with this.
Yeah, she doesn't have a choice.
She doesn't have a choice.
But
so her estranged father doesn't get a vote.
In weird-ass worlds, weird-ass rules apply. And he don't care. Rune, he's been heading up the Fey division of the Aux, which is like the, I don't know, military police?
I just thought it was like short for auxiliary, which would be yes.
Okay. I was like, what is auxiliary? Thank you for the yes. We do find out that Rune is about one of like a dozen different princes at his same ranking, but he is the only one with that like starborn power across them.
Which is kind of a big deal.
Right. We also get a little more in this internal fight in his head as he's being lectured to by his dad. Bryce went to visit her dad when she was about 13 years old. So she didn't know who her dad was, then knew, because at 13 is when you go to the Oracle, find out kind of the level of your power and all of that. So that's when that meeting to find out what her future was going to be from the Oracle did not go well.
It did not.
And her dad basically was like, "You're boring. Get out of here. You're dead to me."
You're not worthy. You're too human.
Rune was very excited about having a sister. He was an only child before that. And he continued to visit her for years and years and years until they had a fight about 10 years ago and they stopped speaking. So this is really when we found out like that side of it. And he was like upset about that. The Autumn King is also pressing Rune to get married. He's like, FYI. You're getting older. It's time. And Fae, they had referenced before that Fae tend to marry within Fae to strengthen Fae lines, right? Very Targaryen of them. His dad is hinting, though, that he wants him to marry outside of Fae's. Because if there's going to be a war, we've been hearing hints.
We need to
Reed talked about this before his ass got dumped. That there's some war happening across some sea. Mm-hmm. And if it makes its way over here, we need to strengthen our ties and our alliance. Yeah. And the Queen of the Witches died. And her daughter is she's going to be joined in as queen at the summit. Yeah. I think she'd be a really great match for you. It's going to strengthen our lines here. We do find out that Rune lied about what the Oracle said to him to his dad. So he told his dad that he was going to be a true and just king or something like that. What the Oracle actually told him was that the royal bloodline would end with him. Ah. So that's why Rune was like, I will never get married. Yeah. I'm not getting married because he's supposed to end the bloodline. At the end of this, the Autumn King gives Rune his own mission, right? I told you to keep your sister in line. You can't do that. I need you to find this horn. Yep. So this Luna's horn thing comes up again. Again, Rune doesn't quite understand why it's so important or what the big deal is about it. The Autumn King's point is essentially we let it become a tourist attraction and it's embarrassing. And if there is some war, we need to strengthen the marital lines, but we also, maybe this would be something along those lines. I need you to find it. That's your mission. He also makes the connotation. He says, you're starborn. It was used by the first starborn prince ever. Yeah. Like calls to like. Does that sound familiar to anybody as well?
It very much does.
Like calls to like, people. Guys.
As Rune was kind of going through a lot of that with the horn, I was like checking back to, that's like the first assignment before Danica even died.
Right. Jezebel wanted Bryce to find the horn. Yeah. Because, it was an ancient relic. It made sense there. But the fact that the Autumn King is also interested, it makes us think that the horn is...
when he connects it to the Fae, this is the Fae thing.
It's just, it's foreshadowing that this horn is more important than people are making it out to seem. Right? And the adults have an ulterior motive going on.
The adults are adulting.
One thing I didn't mention too about this interaction with Rune and his father is his dad is like constantly studying things and cares more about his like studies than anything else. So he makes Rune like bring up this starborn power, which Rune is talking about. He's the chosen one and he has starborn power, but he can basically like flicker his fingers a little bit and that's about it. I thought very much like Violet, like that's all it does. Yeah. But he's having to like hold it so his dad can like study it and his dad like won't tell him what he's doing. Yeah. But he sees like disappointment from his dad, like he's not good enough. So Rune is struggling with some inferiority complexes. Yeah. And his dad knows more than syndrome. But his dad also, it's very obvious to me, like he knows more than he's letting on. Yeah. So there's something going on with all of these things. Okay, this is where we chose to end for this first episode. Not really a cliffhanger, but it's just a shit ton of information in these first like 15 chapters of this book.
Yeah.
We meet pretty much everybody and where they all come from, and the entire like basis of this world.
Game of Thrones moment, all the people we learned about died before the third chapter. So it's like, oh, Danica, I like her. She's spicy.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, Connor, I want them to be together. And then done.
Yeah.
Like, she literally agreed to go on a date with him.
Yeah.
And the next day he was gone.
Right.
That pissed me off.
It was just long enough for you to be a little emotionally invested.
Yeah, it was one of those things where I was invested in Connor.
Yeah.
So any future love interest, it's going to be an uphill battle, man. I'm not going to like you at first.
I think someone's up for the challenge.
And I think I struggled too because I'm looking for like who's going to be a love interest.
Yeah.
And frankly, I like Rune, but it's her brother. So that can't be the love interest.
Well, and remember, book 2 is House of Sky and Breath.
Which I'm assuming is Rune.
Faye. Yep.
Okay. So I'll get my Rune
Dannon,
time.
Crown Prince of the Barbarian Fae.
Okay. Alrighty. But anyway, so I will say at this point in time, I'm kind of like, this is a Game of Thrones. Everybody I liked died already.
But also, as someone who's watched Game of Thrones, you know the Red Wedding is episode 7.
Okay.
And that is another epic event that you have to watch and get even more emotionally invested in the next main characters.
All die.
Only to have all of them die.
Are you telling me that everybody's going to die again?
You've read the whole book.
I can and always will power through.
Yeah.
But this is where I was like, I don't really want to talk to Nicole about this book yet. I need to keep reading.
I already know where she's going to be annoyed with me. I have to say, in this first 15 chapters, I'm very excited for this world. Mm-hmm. Because all the fantasy worlds you read typically have the same kind of timeline and feel and references to an extent, right? Which I love because it makes all of them feel kind of real because there's consistency across the stories. Wraths are wraths, it's stuff like that. But I like the modern twist.
Yeah. I kept
Crescent
forgetting
City.
that they it was fantasy.
Right.
And I'd be like, oh yeah, they do have wings. He can't fly.
It's so normal.
Yeah.
It's such like a normal occurrence in like everyday, like you picture New York. She's walking through New York. You might as well walk because you're just going to sit in a cab anyway.
Yeah.
Taking out my cell phone, texting, doing drugs. Like it's
But then they have a sword. So it's just like, why do you have a sword in New York?
I didn't think swords were allowed in clubs. Right? Like
it feels dangerous.
It does.
But okay. We're cool.
And then randomly your best friend's a fawn who's in the ballet.
Yeah. Who has hooves.
Right. But it's so cute.
All I know is
it's
the
a cool
constant
twist.
theme was Bryce kept walking around and commenting how she kept noticing people looking at her butt.
Yes.
The whole time. That was like
I'm
90% of the
butt.
book.
You're not looking at her butt?
I wasn't looking at her butt.
I'm totally looking at her butt.
I was reading her butt.
You should look at her butt.
So, evidently, that's a thing. It's interesting because fantasy is usually just fantasy.
Yeah.
I feel like this is fantasy and thriller, which is kind of throwing me a little bit.
That's true. We usually start with like some sort of games or like something like
it's
that.
Like
but to have
Game
like
of Thrones
thriller,
type of,
like a murder mystery.
Yeah, it's either like Hunger Games or like war.
Yeah.
It's not really like solve a murder.
Yeah. It doesn't really fit in anything because then there's like academia was like Fourth Wing, right?
Yeah.
And then the last two we've had have started with some sort of game.
Yeah.
That led into wars. I mean, I'm sure there's going to be a war at some point. They're referencing some war.
You better not have spoiled that for me.
No.
No.
You've read the whole book. And we both haven't read the second or third book.
Fair.
So it's fine. No, but this is a very different way to present it. Modern time, and it's like a
thriller.
Yeah. Special Victims Unit.
Well, it keeps making me remember Lucifer.
Yeah.
Because that was fantasy, but also like criminal.
In modern times. Lucifer's such a good show. We need to review Lucifer.
Okay, I don't know if we should do that. That might.
It wasn't really that good. I mean, it was like a cheesy. It was so good.
It was before its time.
It was.
Because it was like an early 2000s show.
It was so addicting, though. I like binged Lucifer. Okay, future Marissa. Let's just.
I'll take everything about Lucifer out. I'm embarrassed for you. There's too much embarrassing things for you.
Let's take out the Lucifer stand.
I'd rather take the Lucifer out and keep the bust in.
Deal.
Now I gotta keep both of them. Gotcha, bitch.
Son of a bitch.
Okay.
All right. Well, join us next week.
It's going to be a much better part of the book. I get over me being meh.
We think, don't give it all away, Marissa. She's meh for a while.
I'm always meh.
All right. Join us next week for episode 2, where we're going to read some more chapters. We'll talk about it then, because I don't know. And thank you for talking high tales with your favorite lit sisters.
Goodbye.
Bye.